Hi there, in this video I'm going to share with you how you can manage nerves as a singer. Now this is a video I've been wanting to make for a while, and I wanted to make sure that I send out the right message. Now this is a problem with a lot of people, or a challenge that a lot of people come across. Now we want things to be perfect, and I'm definitely not saying that I wanted to make sure this video was perfect. When I was younger, I would only do things that I knew I was good at, that I knew I could do well, and that I knew I could probably get some external validation for. And that's an issue that I've been working through my whole life. You know, not to go into, oh, woe is me, and turn this into a therapy session, definitely not. But my point is that we all get nervous. Now, when I made my first video for YouTube, I was very nervous. And it's not a great video. You can see that although I do know what I'm talking about as a singer and as a voice coach, I didn't have that much experience making videos, and certainly not the type that I make now on YouTube, right? You can go back, I'll put the link in the description if I can remember. Now, the thing that a lot of people say about overcoming nerves is just go and do the thing. I say this as well. I say this to my singers. I've said this to my college students. I've worked with lots of different types of people. I've said this to my coaching clients, because I do coaching as well. So for musicians and singers. And I say this to a lot of my clients. The only way to get over nerves is to do the thing that makes you nervous. However, you don't have to do the big thing that makes you nervous. So if you feel nervous about going and singing in front of a group of strangers, I'm not going to make you go out in the street and sing in front of a group of strangers unless I think it's good for your personality type, right? I haven't actually done that to anyone. I've done it myself, but I haven't made anyone else do that. But a great way to get started with doing anything new, especially if you're nervous, and particularly with the singing, because it's very exposing, is what is the minimum viable action that you can take. So it could just be, for someone who doesn't want to sing in front of other people, it could just be stepping outside their front door and singing one line very quietly to themselves. That might even be too much for some people. It could be just singing very quietly to yourself when there's one other person in the house. Or maybe singing a slightly bit louder than you normally would when there's someone else at home with you. So have a think about, what is it that you could do that would put you out of your comfort zone, that would be slightly challenging, but not so much that you feel like you might go to pieces. Now, that's a little bit more than nervous. That's actually anxiety. Now, the thing about nerves is that nerves are inevitable, but we do always have to do something. So I would question, if you feel like there's nothing that you can do to overcome your nerves, how would you feel if you never get to where you want to be as a singer? Does that feel more uncomfortable than doing one tiny thing that's going to get you towards your goal? Because you don't have to think of the end goal, but if you think of never achieving or doing the thing that you love, how sad does that make you feel? So going back to the minimum viable action, could you sing to your best friend or a family member that you trust? Maybe not a musician, maybe a musician. That won't work for everyone, but it might work for you. For some of you out there, you'll be thinking of someone right now. And it doesn't have to be a full song. It could just be a couple of lines. It could be a chorus. So you don't need to put a lot of pressure on yourself. But what I would say is push yourself to do something that you hadn't thought about, or that you might not have thought about had you not watched this video. Now, if you're feeling a little bit less nervous than singing to a friend, you feel comfortable singing to a friend, what could you do next? Could you go to a gig and sing along at the gig? You're probably already doing that. If you're a gig goer, you probably already sing along. Could you go to a jam session, so something that's not quite as loud, and sing along there? Could you maybe go to karaoke and just, even if you don't get up and sing, could you just sit and watch? And if you feel comfortable too, sing along with everyone else who's singing at those popular songs at karaoke? Or could you get up as a group and sing karaoke in a group? so that you don't feel quite so exposed. There's always something that you can do just to nudge yourself along to the next step. Now, something that I really love doing, and I've been doing it a lot recently because I've been doing lots of different things to get myself out of my comfort zone, and so that I can help my students and my coaching clients as well, is visualize the next step. So it's a really, really good idea to visualize your big dream. It's a very good idea to do that. People like Drake, Beyonce, Jay-Z, Madonna, Lady Gaga, they all do this visualization. It's really good because it tricks your brain into believing that you've already done it. Your brain doesn't know the difference between what's real and what isn't real, right? So it tricks your brain into believing that you've already done it, which makes it easier. So if you visualize the next step, in this case, your minimum viable action, then it's going to be a lot easier for you to actually do the thing. I did the same thing when I decided to make this video. I wrote my notes down. I took a couple of, just about 30 seconds to a minute, just to visualize myself talking to you about this, because I don't usually make these type of videos, and I was a little bit nervous about it. But some people will like it, some people won't. That's absolutely fine. My aim is that it gets to at least one person that it helps. And for you as a singer, and I know this because I've experienced it, and almost everyone that I've worked with has experienced it, and if they haven't, they just haven't noticed it, is that there is someone out there who is waiting to hear your voice. There's someone out there who's waiting to hear your songs if you're an original songwriter. If you're not a songwriter, also fine. Someone's waiting out there to hear you sing. They want your voice will touch them. They don't know it yet, you don't know it yet, but when they hear you, you're going to become someone's favorite singer. Okay? That might be quite daunting, but it should also motivate you because that person needs you. The reason that I know this is because a few weeks ago, maybe a couple of months ago now, I made a video. I'll put it in the description. It was to do with things that are destroying your voice. And I was really quite nervous about making that video, and it actually turned out to be my most popular video. So your perception of what's good, what's bad, how good your voice should be, how good your voice isn't necessarily the way that other people will view you and will view the way that your voice sounds, okay? So a lot of the time we're worried about people not liking our voice, people not liking the way we sing, people not liking our song choices, people not liking our actual songs. And there will be people who don't like your songs, who don't like the way your voice sounds. There's lots of people who don't like the way my voice sounds. There's lots of people who have loved other bands that I've been in, but don't necessarily like the songs that I've written with my current band. That's fine, because you don't have to please everyone, and you can't. But it's vital that you do what you love and you don't hold yourself back. Now, I'm not going to give you the spiel of you are good enough. You know all of that. Logically, you know that you're good enough. Logically, you know that what you do is going to entertain someone. You know that someone's going to like your songs, your singing voice, your performance, whatever it is that's making you nervous. But knowing it and taking the step can be a big gap. So I go back to, what is your minimum viable action? Something small that takes you slightly out of your comfort zone but isn't too challenging that you don't want to do it. If you're enjoying this video, then please hit like, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so that you get my future videos. And if you're serious about singing too, do take my free 5-day course. Go to the link in the pinned comment or the description, pop your details in, and I'll send that directly to your inbox. If it doesn't come in a couple of hours, check your spam or junk, bring it out into your main inbox and make me a contact, whitelist me, and you'll get all of the videos directly into your inbox there. So I trust that this video has given you something to think about, that's helping you to come to terms with nervousness. I get nervous when I perform, okay? I just performed at my favorite festival, my favourite music festival, just a couple of weeks ago. It's on for 4 days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday, and I performed every single day. And I was nervous every single time that I performed. But once I was up on stage doing my thing, I come to life. That's where I'm alive. That's where I feel like that is where I belong, on the stage. And for you, it might not be quite as dramatic as that. You may just really enjoy singing. But if you're someone who hopes to become a professional singer, but there's nerves holding you back, I urge you to think of the smallest thing that you could do. Visualize yourself doing it. You might need to visualize it for a few times a day, for a few days before you actually go and do it. But I guarantee you, once you've done it, you'll realize that it wasn't quite as bad as you thought it was going to be. I urge you to enjoy singing. I'll see you in the next video. Stay hydrated. Ciao!